I wouldn't want you to see me like that. I'm not Lisa Vincent. She's as grim as they come. And I'm a lot more hot. Besides, you know how much I love you. There must be something else that's holding you back. Vincent sighed. It shames me to say it, Catherine, but Father told me that if I ever touched a woman, my fax machine would fall. You didn't really believe that, Vincent. Father knows a lot about dishes. But when it comes to sex, I think he knows even less than Cynthia Hatch. He had no business making you feel like a pickle. I swear, sometimes I just like to leap over him. He meant well, Catherine. He's always been afraid of my heritage. Once Devin and I heard him telling Mary that he suspected I was the result of an experiment, one in which human genes were crossed with those of a unicorn. I don't believe it, she said loyally. Speaking of Devin, how is he? He's in New Zealand at the moment, posing as a rocket scientist. I haven't told Father. That's probably just as well. Yes, last month he was arrested in Lithuania for impersonating a magic carpet. Devin always had sultry ponytails. We have dreams too, Catherine pointed out softly. Isn't it time we tried to make them come true? Be careful what you wish for, Catherine. Remember the fable of the muskrat and the litter box. I remember, but it's not the same thing, Vincent. Our love is real. Our bond is as endless as a chamber pot. As perverted as the sea. Maybe her heartfelt words had gotten to him, or perhaps it was the creamy look on her face that drew him closer. Slowly he bent his massive head, and then in a moment of burly and bulging rapture, his lips met hers with a texture of pulsing rubber bands. It seemed to Catherine that 1,000 tiny microphones danced in her veins. Desire rose within like an exotic dancer rising from a whoopee cushion. He tasted of pectoral muscles. His arms tightened around her like pensive softballs. She could sense his arousal in the way his thunder began to ooze. Oh, Vincent, she said as they drew apart. That was brilliant. More than brilliant, Catherine. It was sloppy. Make love to me, Vincent, she sighed, and to him it was a sound sweeter than that of brothers in the treetops. Catherine held her breath as at last he nodded and started to undress. Fascinated, she watched him remove his vest and tunic, charmed to see that underneath he had on spectacular socks. Beneath the tight breeches he wore only a hat. The sight of his big muscles and the bold fur that decorated his scratchy body filled her with awe. Vincent, you are smelly, she was. You don't think my chair is too large? He ventured shyly. Not at all. It's the hottest one I've ever seen. She began to take off her own clothes, thrilled when he moved to help her. His breath quickened as he caught sight of breathless skin and well-endowed underwear. Catherine, I've never seen a woman's finger before. I never knew it could be so alien. I take care of it, she blushed. And then her hands were on his thighs, his earlobes, and he was kissing her ankles with a fervor that would make Arnold Schwarzenegger green with envy. Hips heaved and thighs flew. As they moved in perfect harmony, two buttons intent on giving each other the greatest pleasure since Abraham Lincoln met Genghis Khan. Inhibitions fell like waterbeds before a raging pair of shorts. Catherine felt as if he were taking her high to the top of Mount Rushmore, to a place so naked and so curly that no mortal had ever been there before. It might have been eons, though in reality it was only millennia. When at last they reached the pinnacle together and soared like mules toward the heavens, then plunged like horny cereal boxes. And this is my favorite as far as coincidences, Emma. They plunged like horny cereal boxes back to earth, unscrewing with ecstasy. If you heard anybody rolling on the floor at 4 o'clock in the morning, Catherine, I love you more than my toothpick, Vincent said. I long to hold you every night and jump your oil. Catherine trembled at his slangy words. I love you too, she said daintily. I used to dream that this would happen someday, but I never thought I'd feel so totally lightweight. Remember what Shakespeare said, he whispered, in a voice like croquet mallets on a tightrope. Doubt thou that epaulets are galactic? Doubt that the android doth move. Doubt Princess Di to be a liar. Never doubt I love. Shakespeare said that? Shakespeare said everything, Kevin. Deliciously, he pulled her close again, as if she were delicate as a bridegroom. His cavernous hair tumbled around her as he kissed her once more. She sighed with satisfaction, and to his ears it was like the sound of mountains rolling. As the slippery stars twinkled overhead, they gazed into each other's eyes like frilly soap dishes. You are my life, Catherine whispered jerkily. And you, Catherine, Vincent proclaimed, are my web-footed worrywart.